So we had some chicken butt yesterday. Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman. Mike Trout. Jacob deGrom. Ken Griffey Jr. and Jordan Yamamoto. You want to know why? And Angels are gone in Donruss. So now we have 4 more teams. 85. I'll wait up. So 85 for Donruss. And Chad Reagan's got the Angels. I thought that's where he would go. He's from California. And Joe Adele is one to hunt in that. Alright, we are on standby. So we got 3 breaks on standby right now. The divisional football break, Donruss number 2, and the 10-box baseball mixer. We are just on the verge. What 14? Well, we have 9 teams available in Donruss, but 25 is the magic number for that. So remaining teams are scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And it's a half case, 8 boxes of Donruss, and a rebreak spot. Aquino, not bad. Orioles are 28, Red Sox 25, White Sox 55, Nationals are 35, Indians are 28, Rockies are 22, Marlins are 28, Mets are 40, Rangers are 28. So any combination of 4 teams out of that mix, and we'll be scheduling some Donruss. Now, at this point, it is, especially with these boxes that we're doing now, might be a little too late to run it tonight. But the girls got a basketball camp in the morning, and I can set that up for right away in the afternoon. Football, we do have enough time still to run. So, Jose Barrios, that wasn't bad. You got a key rookie in the silvers. We got another box, too. They can't all be Bo Bichette's. John, you're the one that hit the orange Bo Bichette, right? 55 out of 149, Yoan Moncada. Yoan Moncada. So there's your manufactured relic. Ricky likes die cuts. Ricky likes it. So George Brett. I don't know why I only opened one pack. I'll have to open 3 now. All about that base, about that base. Alzole rookie. So, I don't know if that was one you were considering moving or holding. I know Adam is on the lookout for Bo Bichette rookie autos. Even these 3 packs in one hand. We've done it before. Catch ourselves back up. Here it comes. Let's rocket like a hurricane here. Just Vlad Jr. Gene Segura. H to the Izzo. Anthony Rizzo. Number 84 is the code. So this is a regular short print. The codes don't always show up on camera, but regular short print. A little H to the Izzo. Anthony Rizzo. The Wizard of Oz. Gavin Lux. That's going to get some 1 cent left. Zach Collins. We got Mike Soroka. Milwaukee Brewers. 13-11 out of 2020. Here come the Judge. Back to the injured list. Tony Gwynn. All rise unless your ribs hurt too much. And let's see what else we got here. All about that base, until we get to silver. Or actually gold foil, I'm sorry. Minnesota Twins. That's not that shabby for you. Give that some 1 cent love now on camera. Hank Aaron, Miggy Cabrera, Bobby Bradley. So regular rookie card. And AJ Puck. I think tests came out clean on him. Very good possibility he will be in the rotation instead of a reliever this year. So he had some arm issues he was recovering from. They called him up last season just to get a good look at him, and that's what they got. He looked good. So it's very possible the A's, who are the masters of Moneyball and who generally have a exciting offensive lineup and some fair pitching over the years, may have that 1 and 2 guy. And they're going to be pesky for the next 2 or 3 years to come until they can't or don't want to afford to pay these guys. They trade them away. Repeat cycle, new prospects. But unlike the Marlins, I think the A's do a good job of never totally losing that relevancy. You know, maybe a year or two they have a rough patch, but it's never like a full from the ground up rebuild with the A's. Maybe being on the East Coast, if it happens, I don't notice it. Gold foil Mauricio Dubon. And autograph is Sam Hilliard of the Rockies on the 85 throwback. So Sam Hilliard of the Rockies. Honus Wagner on the die cut. Juan Soto and Aristides Aquino. He's the one I wonder. Is he going to be the unexpected guy who explodes into a superstar? Or is he going to be the flash in the pan that had a real good streak and guys figure him out? But the power display that we saw was very impressive last year, and he is not one to be taken lightly. And especially we saw, Bono's 3 throws. We saw last year a lot of very solid rookies get overlooked because there was just so many to look at. It's like a night in the club, in a good club. Francisco Lindor. Daniel Palka, 1459 out of 2020. So now we got to see if we can find those guys to stock up on out of this 2020 class. Pitchers are tough. Pitchers blow out their UCL religiously now. It's like a rite of passage. Position players, though, so many are all in. And the guys like the Gavin Luxes, the Bo Bichette's, the Jordan Alvarez's are warranting the attention now. And if they stay, they're gonna keep warranting the attention, just like Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna still get that. But there's going to be some guys who are going to be overlooked at first, and then the next thing you know, hey, he's an all-star. He's got 20 home runs at the all-star break. So how's that work? Is that meaning you don't want veteran base? I can make that happen. Jacob deGrom gold foil. Luis Aparicio, Don Mattingly. Dylan Cease. Francisco Lindor, home run challenge. Yadier Molina. Yordan Alvarez. Big base rookie there. Okay, talk to me later about it so I make sure I have everything clear. And okay. Final hit coming out here. And then you got one more box of tops, and then we'll get you a Donruss box. So we got Nico Horner. Jeff McNeil. Future Stars. Brad Keller. 873 out of 2020. Cody Bellinger. Eloy Jimenez. Shohei Ohtani, gold foil. It's not bad. Shohei Ohtani, gold foil. And your third hit is going to be Max Kepler of the Twins. Max Kepler, Twins. Chipper, Bogarts, and another Yordan Alvarez. So there you go. Kyle Lewis. And that's box numero uno. All right. The other Topps box. And we'll get that Donruss one right after. Other Topps box. Box loader, 2 silver packs. Yeah, we got Josh Bell for Los Piratas. Got Donnie Baseball. Jose Altuve. Rafael Devers. And you got something serial numbered. Numbered 106 out of 299. Wait, there's a 299 parallel? There is when they're autographed. Trent Grisham. So traded over from the Brewers to the Padres in the Luis Urias trade. And he's another one that could be one to watch. In 3 different levels last year. All right, 2 in the minors and played 51 games for Milwaukee. He had 32 home runs, 28 doubles, and 8 triples. Well, he didn't have a lot of stolen bases last year. A couple years ago, he had 37. So he's the kind of guy that has pop, but he won't get lost in that San Diego stadium because he's also got some legs. So maybe the home runs go down, but doubles, triples go up, and maybe some other enticing numbers. So that was a nice one. Trent Grisham rookie auto. It's always good to get something unexpected out of the silver packs. Darryl. Polar Bear. This is another good one. Even just the base Yordan Alvarez is a nice one out of the silver packs. And then you got Trent Grisham unsigned, so you see what they look like. Side by side. All right, now we got the actual box itself, right? Again, we are 4 teams away from scheduling up Donruss. As it gets later and later, I'm thinking we schedule that for tomorrow. Because of the way that the market treats them. So first of all, they produce less basketball than they do like Upper Deck is kind of like an entity unto itself with hockey, and they also feed the Canadian market. Basketball is such a global sport. All right. I mean, China alone, Greece. I mean, you've got leagues in the Middle East. Basketball is such a global sport, and the production numbers are so low, it drives the demand sky high. And, you look back to 30 years ago, and what is affectionately called the junk era. And they're not going to spike those numbers up by much every year. Topps is making more cards than they did. It's up 10% over the year before. That number they'll give you. So for those who say, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff out there. Yeah, really? Because why are guys like me getting cut on their allocations? Because there's so many more people looking to get into the same game. Every product is allocated. Every product is selling out. And even if they're holding a lot back, it's selling out at secondary market price. I wanted to get more encased football. I had to pay pretty much what I was charging for them a few days ago to get a limit of 2 boxes in, because there's still a demand for encased football, and we're going to throw it probably into something similar to this football break that we're trying to get going for tonight. When I'm getting full cases of product, then we're going to go pick your team. Yeah, because a million cards is nothing. They were making millions of cases. Millions of cases. I mean, don't forget, like, in the Beckett magazine, back when it was like, they were selling millions of Beckett magazines a month. And there was guys selling, do you want to buy 1,000, I don't know, 93 Jeters? Do you want to buy 1,087 Jose Cansecos? There was just so many of them. And it's like, all right, so you don't know what's in the boxes. Many people will equate it in some respect to gambling. All right, there's some part of it that's gambling, and then there's another part of it that is speculation. There's another part. It's a lot deeper than that. That's why I hate Razes, because Razes is just, it's literally just gambling, and it's not the same as collecting. All right, but back then it was like going to the penny slots. You're buying cards for 50 cents a pack. You buy so many packs, you're going to get that $2-3 rookie. And you buy the singles in lots and bunches, and then you wait to unload. You buy 1,000 cards, right? At 10 cents a piece. And if those 10-cent cards go to 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, it's going to be a lot of work. Hey, what's going on? What's up, Twitch? It's going to be a lot of work, but you could really make a lot off of that. Now we have situation like we had the other night. Adam gets a 400 and change box of basketball cards and hits a card that's going for 600 raw. And if that thing PSA, 10, You could be talking, easy low four figures for that. It's the penny slots. Now you're going and you have different tables that you can go at. Um, an even better example would be the stock market. You know, somebody who goes and buys stocks that are 25 cents, 50 cents, buys a million shares and just waits for them to go up an eighth of a point and dumps them all. Whereas somebody else is buying Apple who consistently performs year after year. They split the stock. So now you've got more shares of something that keeps going up and up and up. It's such a totally different game. And basketball collectors collect singles more than any other sport. It's starting to catch on in baseball. In football, it's an up and down thing. Football has such a short lifespan. All right. 298 out of 299 on this Honus Wagner. Um, so a lot of times football is like a short sale stock unless you get that guy, that Tom Brady, right? I mean, Drew Brees just doesn't have the hype that Tom Brady does, but he's got the numbers. His stuff isn't crazy. His stuff is well within affordability range compared to Tom Brady, who was a fourth round quarterback, right? Or fifth round. He was a lower round quarterback. Sixth round? I don't remember. Sixth round quarterback. There's not as much stuff of his out there. He wasn't as prevalent as, say, Peyton Manning the year before. So it's all about supply, demand. That's what this Gary V guy is all about. He's all about hyping this stuff. And if people buy into it, then that's what's going on. I appreciate that. And yeah, and I mean, oh, Justin Verlander, 84. I know it's hard to see. Probably can't see it. So this is a regular short print. So yeah, man, and this is I try to keep a family environment. I support my family doing this, and I try to treat you guys like family. Chris Davis, and that one is not serial numbered. Chris Davis, Mexico. So, you know, sometimes there's an element that gets lost in all this. Yeah, well, he's being hyped because he's going to probably be the number one overall pick. Gary V's hype is a little bit different. Are short prints or SSPs worth grading? Depends. Um, yes, if it's the right card, just like with any card. So it depends on the short print. Like that Justin Verlander, I wouldn't send in, but I'd send in a Jordan Alvarez to PSA. I might not send it into PSA because I'll never see it again. it'll be years. He'll have retired and it'll come. No, it's not that bad. But they are taking they're taking quite a while. Yeah, he had an insert set in Topps last year. He even had his own kind of like what they did with the Vlad X and the Lindor X and the Harper X cards, where Gary V pretty much designed a set. Gary Vaynerchuk, and there's some guys swear by him, other guys can't stand him. I just think he's another guy in the hobby with a voice. Sometimes he brings up some good points, and sometimes he's kind of full of bullshit. But either way, he is an influencer. But he's definitely somebody who a lot of people on Twitter follow. The Gehrig. I forget, what was that component? If it's in good shape and it's a card comping, 80, 90, $100, I would say PSA is an option. BGS is going to look at it a little more critically. It might not be bad. Yeah, it's not a bad card to get graded. It's just you got to find the right buyer. You know, the grading is great for like hot rookies and like if you have a short print Guerrero rookie, right? That's like a hot card. The Gehrig is a good card to get graded, but it's kind of like when you're in a neighborhood, right? That's not a bad neighborhood, suburban neighborhood, and your average house value is like $200,000. All right, that's the Gehrig raw, and the only thing you're gonna want is either a BGS 9.5 or a PSA 10. Anything else you don't even want in that slab. Now it's a PSA 10 or a Gem Plus with 210 subs or a pristine or black label. You got to find the guy who's going to want to spend $350,000. Maybe it's even a bigger difference. Maybe you want to get the guy who's going to spend $600,000 on a gorgeous house in a $200,000 average neighborhood. It's not quite that simple as I get this card graded and it's going to make it better. Because then you have to find the right buyer for it. Because there's going to be a lot of guys, well, I mean, it's Lou Gehrig. It's not like his cards are going up or down. It's Lou Gehrig, right? So I'm just going to go on eBay and get the raw one. Because I don't know why I would even want a graded one. Then you get that super collector, the guy who's going to pay a premium, and he says, how about we take that house and move it to my neighborhood? Because we got $1 million homes in my neighborhood. That $600,000 house in my neighborhood is $1 million house. All right, gotta think of it like that. Dustin May, gold foil. So and we got our autograph, and it is a famous legacy on the Blue Jays, the one we don't really think about because Lourdes Gurriel Sr. played in Cuba. But he was a legend in Cuba. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Yuli Gurriel have played respectable careers in the United States so far. So I don't know. Does that help answer your question, Michael? Is it worth it to do it? if it's going to meet the minimum condition, yeah, it's worth it to do it. If you're looking to just flip the card, it might make it a little bit more difficult to flip. I mean, again, when I sell cards at a show, I kind of make concessions all the time, but I also usually generally sell to guys who are like, big buyers, and a lot of, I can think of a couple repack products that my stuff ends up in already. But I take $100 card, I grade it, it's worth $350. I paid $30 for the grading. I got to sit around and wait for the right buyer to come along, and then maybe I got to give it up for $200. I'm still making out on the deal, but I got to leave a lot left over for the next guy. Is PSA or Beckett the best grader? It depends on what you're grading. Oh, I wanted to open 2 packs there. Oh, whatever. It depends on what you're grading. And nowadays, especially with the craziness of grading, the amount of time you have to wait, I don't know why I sleeved it, but Roberto Perez, you get some 1 cent love today. Why you're doing it, how long you want it back, what card it is, 1243 out of 2020, what the value of the card is. There's a lot behind it. So it's literally a case-by-case basis, and sometimes not even just case-by-case, but minute by minute. What's the best thing to do now? Is it a late season basketball release? PSA is really behind. Do you want that card during the playoffs? Or are you sitting on that and seeing if that guy continues to develop over 2 years? Guys who sent Jason Tatum's into PSA may have actually worked out better for them because they were forced to sit on a slow patch on him, and now his stuff's white hot again. There are so many factors into doing it, and you really gotta, if you're, it depends on what you're looking for. If it's for your PC, just get whatever case you like. Some guys will be like, I just want it graded. Other guys will be like, all the cases got to look the same. I'm only doing it through one place. And that's fine. That's what collecting's about. You got some guys who are collecting because they want to do it the way, like, I'm a true collector. I don't care anything about value. Well, that's not necessarily true, because if you're buying into breaks of flawless, you're not hoping to pull a 50-cent card. But, you can stick with that story. But it's not so much the value, but what you're getting out of it, your own personal value. Then you have the collector who's going to hang on to it for a little while. Well, then you're looking at your long-term options. If you're going to hang on to it for a little while, what's the difference if it goes to PSA and comes back in 140 days, or it goes to Beckett and it comes back in, 45 days? You're going to hang on to it for a couple of years, then that's not such a big deal. You want it back within a week? It's the hottest thing going right now. You just pulled it out of the hot new release. You overnight that to BGS, 1-day service. You'll have it back within a week, and cash out while the getting's good. It's just, everything in this hobby is a situational thing. And anybody who tells you that there is a solid rubric for anything, whether it be value, whether it be this, that, or the other thing. There's not. There's not a solid. Whenever somebody says, how much is this worth? I ain't going to be like, it's $5 all day long. Because it's not. That guy could hit 2 home runs 5 minutes later and it changes the whole game. Or he could blow out his elbow and not be able to pitch for a year. All right, well, I can look at comps. I look at comps all the time. It doesn't mean that that's what it's worth. All the time I tell people, hey, those comps are terrible. They were all, fixed items, best offer, and based on the other stuff and other products that guy's got, you got 3 people who are just looking at the eBay comp for the first idiot that sold it for real low, and they're all selling it for real low. And then there's other times where, oh my gosh, that is totally being shilled. Like, the same guy is going on all of these different auctions and bidding them up like crazy, and I bet you he's not even paying for them. I wouldn't trust that price. So anybody who tells you eBay is the price guide, it's not. It is and it isn't. It's a guide. But Beckett guide was never the true price either. That's why most stores used to say, hey, we're selling these cards at 25% off Beckett price. And back then, that was a generous deal. This is our clearance box. Everything's 50 to 90% off of book value, meaning it's not really worth that. Tim Anderson. It's the same thing with eBay stuff. 45 out of 69. So black parallel. Those are numbered to 69. And you got Tim Anderson League Leaders card. All right. 335 average last year. That's worth a top loader, I think. Carter Kieboom. Max Scherzer. So a lot of times, I give people a range in value because anything in this hobby, there's not a definite. 2 hours later, somebody's whole system could be totally flawed. I love it when they say, you need to use the average of the last 5 sales or 3 sales on eBay. The average. Well, if the guy's trending down, that average is too high. If the guy's trending up, that average is too low. If the guy's trending up, why should I sell it for $100 when the last 3 sales were 75, 100, 125 in that order in time? Most recent being 125. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. I mean, even not using eBay, you get fees. When I buy something from the distributor, I pay a 2% convenience charge. Because I'm not paying them in cash. All right? It's great at the National. I'll just be like, here you go. Buy that stuff. No 2% charge. Then when you take PayPal and it's not, that's why people are asking, oh, friends and family. Oh, your business. You take credit cards. You take, PayPal payments that are goods and services. But that adds up. It's 3%. Here come the judge. Major League material. When I ship things out, I'm going to put insurance on things that I feel like, well, if this ended up missing or damaged, I ain't going to be able to cover it. What am I going to tell them? You're out of luck? Post office lost it. Okay. It was $1,000 package. All right, well, we're going to fill out an insurance form. Not, well, I did my part. Well, you didn't. If somebody says you got to pay for insurance and you turn it down, now you've put the onus on you. I don't even do that. I just be like, that's a lot of money. I insure it. And when I do my pricing, it's calculated that I expect, you do this enough times, you know how often you're covering that extra insurance and all that. And it's built, law of averages. Law of averages. And I stand by it because I calculate average things all the time. All right, so let me get you that Donruss box. Let's see if we can't find Boba Shed in there. All right. Pick me a number, 1 to 4. So we got any other collector questions? In this collecting deal, right? Whether you're doing it for satisfaction, whether you're doing it for the thrill of the chase, whether you're doing it because you see a dollar opportunity, I'm not going to discredit anybody's reasons, but everybody's at different stages. I had somebody ask me earlier what the numbers on the back of the card meant. And it was a parallel and it was serial numbered. That's somebody who's very new to either being in the game or being back in the game. I wasn't active for about 12 years. Four? You got it. Beckett's right in Texas. So Beckett's right in Texas. You're right there. You don't got to pay for expedited shipping. They send that to you, UPS, FedEx, at ground. You're still getting it the next day. If you're close enough to the Beckett office, you can just go there, drop your stuff off, and then when it's done, pick it up. But Texas is a pretty big state, so. No, there's forms and stuff to fill out. It's not that simple. Actually, can I reach it? Where the heck is it? Trying to figure out where I put my, because I just got that submission in today. Is it here? No, it's not. I don't know where the form is. Did I stick it in this box? Oh, here. I think we're in luck. Yep, I got it. So let me show off this. We got Jose Altuve, 10 out of 400. And Jorge Soler, the foil. AJ Puck, Javi Baez, Jalen Davis, and Jake Rogers. So, do I have a blank form here? Yep, I do. This is fun. So you got to fill out the Beckett form. And I like to do it at shows because I only got to fill out like certain information and then they take care of the rest. Plus you got to figure out your shipping, your insurance, all that stuff. So it's a little bit of a learning curve when you're first doing it yourself. And at least you know if you're making a mistake or not, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And then you fill this out. First time submitters, you got to get an account form. So it's good to go online and communicate with one of the reps. Like I have the New York rep because he's out of White Plains and it's the closest one to me. I don't know. If but I would definitely like speak to somebody before just sending a crap ton of cards and nobody knows what's what. Beckett office in Texas it's in Dallas. 4635 McEwen Drive, Dallas, Texas, 75244. I know JSA is initially out of New Jersey, and they do have reps up here. I think Florida is where their main office is. That's just for mostly authentication. And then PSA, I don't remember where the heck they're from. But most of the time it's Beckett or PSA that one would use. Is there an online version? I have no idea. I personally, like, if I'm sending it, to me, it's like sending cash in the envelope, in an envelope. I wouldn't do it. Not when there's not a guaranteed. Oh, this is a cool card. Hopefully Adam's available to see it. So I wouldn't just send cash in an envelope and be like, here you go. I'd want, at the very least, to know that they're expecting that to be there, and I want to know when it gets there. And I would put signature confirmation on it and all that good stuff. I wouldn't just be like, here's $1,000 worth of cards. Hopefully I'll see it back in 30 days, which 30-day submission isn't 30 days. It's 30 business days. And it doesn't count the time going or coming back. So, there's a lot in there. I don't know if there's a way to type it out and then print it. They're going to want the form with the cards. And like I said, there's some things that are a little bit better being able to hand them in person. Like I think in the mail they expect them to be sent in card savers. Not 100% sure on that, but I would say if you're in Texas, there's a few shows a year, and I think at least one of them is in the Dallas area where you can get them done in person. Sometimes they don't do RCRs and they take just the submissions, and sometimes they'll even do raw card review. So if you're not 100% sure that you want to get it done, you get an RCR at a slightly cheaper price. Not much anymore. It's becoming less positive to do so. But if you have a lot of cards that you do, and you're like, all right, this stack I know, 75, 85, 90% of them, they're going to gem. And the other ones, you're not so sure. But you send in so much stuff, it might actually be worth it. So, if you go on Beckett's website, they tell you the shows that they're going to be at. 22 out of 349, Josh Bell. So they actually will send out an email if you're somebody who's on their email list that you get stuff graded, you'll get an email. These are the shows we're planning to be at this month. And White Plains is one that they're regularly at. They'll usually do RCR's the Winter Show and the East Coast National. And then if they're not in the basement, they often take submissions. The main exception is the October show when the big Comic-Con is right down the road and they're too busy with that. 45.75. New York Comic-Con's a big show. So, and it's Mike Trout. Gotta give that a little extra respect. So, Eduardo Escobar. Got here. Brian Abreu. 19 out of 104. We'll give that a little 1-something. Why not? German Marquez. Goldschmidt. 827 out of 999. Here come the judge. Heading back to the injured list. Nick Senzel stars. Matt Chapman. Ooh, artist proof. Zach Collins, and that's numbered 7 out of 10. That's a nice one, and I like the throwback look to the card too, in the 86 style. So artist proof, numbered to 10. Sean Murphy. Starling Marte. Aristides Aquino. 268 out of 999. Jose Abreu. And Baby Shark, Baby Shark parallel, Yordan Alvarez. That's a cool one too. I like it. Baby Shark, Yordan Alvarez. Daryl. So what was that helmet? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of different helmets out there now. That is a very cool helmet. My only concern is, do they have PSA, Beckett, or JSA certification on that? I'd like to think that the sticker is good enough, but there's been athletes in the past where the stickers have fallen into the wrong hands, and people have used those stickers for ill purposes. So it's always still recommended to have some sort of certification. But yeah, they got these like slick, like matte finish helmets and all kinds of custom design ones and things like that. And it adds value to the product because it's unique, sometimes limited print runs or things like that. Okay. I mean, from my experience, the signature looks good. So if you're just keeping it and you know it came from a good place, that's, for something in your personal collection, that should be good enough. If it's like, hey, I got this helmet in one of those helmet razzes or whatever, and now I want to move it, it'd be better to have the certification. But otherwise, I wouldn't be too concerned with that. It's just like, say you went to spring training and got a bunch of stuff signed. You know that they signed it. You don't need anybody else to tell you they signed it. My daughter got a baseball signed by Mickey Moniak. I don't know why, but I when I saw that pop up, I totally thought you said something else. I'm like, why are you saying chicken? No, it's not. Okay. What is left in football? There's two divisions left in football. There is the NFC North at 125, and there is the NFC West at 295. And that is our 6-box football mixer. 2 boxes of select, 4 boxes of one. If you're talking about personals, the only thing I have left in that is Leaf Ultimate. Those are $115 a box. So if you're meaning personals, the only thing I got left is Leaf Ultimate. $115 a box. And that's been a pretty solid product so far, especially since there's nothing else out with the 2020 class. It's coming soon, but not yet. Yu Darvish, 51 out of 60. Shorter printed. Why not? Barry Larkin. Aaron Nola. Kevin Newman. Boom! Alec Bohm. In the break yesterday, we had hit a red parallel, numbered to 99. So now we got one of Philadelphia's top prospects. The guy has got some power. He's already ascended through the AA level. Probably will start AA or AAA this year, and you never know. We could see him during the season, depending on injury situations and stuff like that. I would say most likely in September, but I mean, if the guy's got 25 home runs by the time the Futures game hits, maybe sooner. I don't know. Andrew Abbott, 532 out of 999. Marcus Stroman on the back. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd have to say I gotta schedule that at this point too. I gotta wake up in a few hours to bring the two of my daughters to a basketball camp in the morning, and it's kind of late to start a break. Midnight is usually 12:30. We're cutting it close, but if I've already messaged everybody at this point, I think tomorrow afternoon we're just gonna be. I think all three of these are gonna go tomorrow afternoon. 14 out of 354. And the earlier we start, the better, because we got church in the morning on Sunday. They're doing something with the homeschooling co-op that uh, Jesse is like one of the, I don't know, I guess board members is the best way to put it. So 159 out of 286, Brock Burke, Don Mattingly. So we'll want to be on time for that. It's their Unity Day or whatnot. Marco Gonzalez, that's got stars on it. Brandon Woodruff. So I'm hoping that when I get back, we got a break. I take a dinner break, and then we rock it through the night. And by 12:30, I'm in bed. That's my hopes for tomorrow. So if we've got it already set up and ready to go, it makes it so much easier. That's why I start posting at noon, my time, a lot of the times. I think we have more people on the western side than on the eastern side of the U.S. Because I never sleep. And so I want to make sure not before 9 a.m. in case it gets missed. Nick Frasso, 31 out of 349. Stick Steven Strasburg on the back of that too. Marcus Semien, Paquito. And Jonathan Daza, 83 out of 100. Gleyber Torres. And next auto is Mauricio Dubon, Giants. He's kind of a sleeper. I think he's kind of overlooked. Especially he's a middle infielder. So he's got, that he's got good solid pop. I think he's going to be a 15-20 home run guy easily. But you got so many middle infielders now hitting 30, where before that was like an anomaly. Might get overlooked early on. But he puts up solid numbers and he won't be. This guy used to be like, oh wow. Like a shortstop never. Even Cal Ripken doesn't hit that many home runs in a season. Although he hit a ton. And he was a gold glover too. And he never used steroids like this guy. But Alex Rodriguez was like the exception, not the rule back then. So thank you. Do you want me to do a quick recap of everything since I know you had to step out for a little bit? I can recap all the key cards. So Rodriguez, Dubon, and Bohm out of Donruss. You also had some good parallels. Mike Trout to 75. Baby Shark, Yordan Alvarez. And an artist proof of Zach Collins, putting that to 10. Out of Tops, you got Aaron Judge relic. Tim Anderson to 69. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. All right. As much fun as these are even better. Silver Pack Yordan Alvarez. Manufactured relic of Chris Davis. Got manufactured relic of Yoan Moncada, numbered to 149. Sam Hilliard auto. Short prints of Rizzo and Verlander. There's another Yordan rookie. Trent Grisham. number to 299, silver pack auto. And Max Kepler. And then you had 3 Jordan rookies out of the 2 Topps boxes, which is not bad. So thank you. Thank you very much. And anybody else looking for a personal right now? Because that's pretty much what we're on right now. We're on a personal kick. We're trying to fill those last few spots to get those breaks set up and ready to go for tomorrow. So again, thank you, Adam. Had some fun with Topps and Donruss. We'll get that Bo Bichette sometime. And no one in queue right now. So last call. Anybody looking for anything? I'll go over the breaks that we're looking to fill real quick. And if by then nobody's got anything, we'll call it a night and we'll rip you a new one tomorrow. But football, we got 2 boxes of select and then 4 boxes of 1. I don't know. I don't think it's next week. I think it's the week after. I got to look it up. I'm on the hunt though for some Gypsy cases. Definitely. I love Gypsy Queen. I'm so pissed they're only giving me 1. But that's just beating a dead horse. So 2 divisions left in football. NFC North 125. NFC West 295. That's where you got Kyler Murray, Nick Bosa, DK Metcalf. All right, NFC North, you got some reaches on the veterans, but some legends: Barry Sanders, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, David Montgomery, and Alexander Madison are your stronger rookies in that one. Scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now, Donruss needs 4 teams. We are on standby for Donruss. We're on standby for this, we're on standby for Donruss, and we're on standby for the other break we'll talk about in a minute. 3 breaks, most likely going tomorrow. 8 boxes of Donruss, a rebreak spot. Orioles are 28, Red Sox are 25, White Sox are 55, Nationals are 35. Indians are 28, Rockies are 22, Marlins are 28. Mets are 40, Rangers are 28. 4 teams, and that breaks tomorrow afternoon. And then the other break that we got is our 10-box Pick Your Team mixer. 10 boxes right there. And teams scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Again, legacy teams, generally solid ones. When you're talking about Onyx Icons Baseball, Diamond Stars Baseballs from TriStar. There's a little bit of current action in there, but most of the guys are retired. So typical tiebreaker rules for retired players. Lot of prospecting stuff. 2018 Bowman Draft, 2019 Elite Extra Edition. All right, that's going to pump in a lot of hits. 2019 Leaf Metal Draft. That's a good mix of draft picks and young guys, prospects, rookies. All right, they throw in those guys in there too. Ultimate Draft is usually like super draft specific. Metal Draft will have the Wander Francos who are coming, the Vlads and the Gavin Luxes who are here. You got 2019 Bowman Chrome. All right, those are HTA boxes, all killer, no filler, 3 hits, that's it. And then you got Breaking Baseball, which has a very limited select checklist of players and some real fun stuff that could pop out in that. And the remaining teams are scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now. And I'm going to look up the specific date for Gypsy Queen. Sometimes things get pushed back, but let me get that too, since I'm waiting for the scroller to scroll. And I can tell you after I might be able to tell you now. Hold on. Gypsy Queen. I'll find it in a minute. Diamondbacks are 70. Braves are 175. Red Sox are 70. White Sox 150. Nationals are 95. Cubs are 100. Reds are 110. Astros are 100. Dodgers are 75. Marlins are 55. Mets are 150. A's are 50. Phillies are 70. Pirates are 50. Padres 150. Rangers are 65. And let's go over the release calendar. So today's March 7th, right? So Onyx preferred players baseballs were supposed to, actually it's the 6th. We're supposed to come out today. They got pushed to March 13th, which is really going to jam some things up. On the 11th, Impeccable Basketball. WWE Road to WrestleMania. We'll have some of that. And you got Contenders Optic Football, Game of Thrones Season 8, Stars and Stripes Baseball, Opening Day Baseball for Tops. Maybe not all the highest end stuff, but man, that's a lot of stuff on one day. Again, the 13th has those Onyx Preferred Players baseballs, Leaf Lumber Kings baseballs. We will have 5 boxes of that. I wish I could say more, but I don't. Break King Basketball Premium Edition. I think I'm only getting 1 box, not because I didn't want to. I actually got asked, "Do you want to get more?" And I'm like, "No," because I looked at the checklist and I think this one's going to be a good one where, especially with some of these rookies surging in value, there's going to be some cool stuff in there, but I want to see what 1 box looks like before I go back and say, do you got 2 cases of it? You know what I'm saying? Especially basketball, we don't move as quickly. Baseball, I'm very happy with the way that the boxes have looked so far. And I'm kind of excited to see this 10-box mixer break because I want to see another one. You also have, let's see. So on the 18th of March, Topps Inception Baseball. We are getting put back at 4 cases for that. It's like one of the few victories I've had so far with this allocation crap. So 64 boxes, 4 cases. All right, we're going to have some fun with that. And it's probably the best Inception since its inception. Think of all the rookie. Luis Robert could be in there. I don't know. We haven't seen the checklist yet, but it's that time. Let's see him. Alvarez, Lux. There's a lot of good possibilities in that. XFL football, Hidden Treasures, autographed baseballs, New York Dynasty edition. That's always a popular one with us too. Those TriStar New York Dynasty baseballs. I don't remember if I'm getting these Star Wars Authentics 11x14s. I might have pre-booked a couple. I might have passed on it. I don't remember. March 20th, Leaf Flash Baseball. Oh, I get a break that week. I can go searching for other product. Good. March 25th. OMG. Noir Basketball. I'm only getting 1 box. National Treasures Football. That is the one that's like they cut me in half. I am getting a case and a half. So we will have National Treasures Football. Not as much as I want, but we'll have it. Prism Collegiate Draft Football. All right, this is going to be a great one for Pack Wars. Great one for Pack Wars. And personal boxes as well. Women of Star Wars, I might have gotten some of that. UFC Knockout. I can't remember if I pre-ordered a couple boxes of that. March 25th is Gypsy Queen Baseball. All right, so it's a couple release weeks away. March 25th. I want to say it was originally earlier, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'd have to look at the original email for the sell sheet. And what's the matter? It's coming out on the 25th anyway. And then a lot of Upper Deck stuff, the 25th. 27th, Leaf Metal Draft Football Hobby and Jumbos. I'm not sure yet. Honestly, for Gypsy Queen, I'm going to try to get more in. And when I do that, if I only have one box, I'm at market value, or one case, I'm sorry, I'm at market value. If I can get a couple good buy-ins, not from the distributor where they're going to bend me over and draw blood, but like if I can get a few cases from somebody that gets a lot of cases and get them in at a reasonable price, that helps me bring it down. So we'll see. I thought I was going to get a case of Encased, and it didn't happen. And I was like, are we doing Encased? And it's like, I sold it. I was like, Leaf Best of Sports, March 27th, and Onyx Vintage Collection Baseball. So they're doing Onyx Vintage again, March 31st. And April 1st and 3rd are heavy release days too, but we'll cut it in March. I don't even want to talk about Top Sterling and how unsatisfying 2 boxes is. 2 boxes. Jeez. They're going to be holding on to that stuff. That stuff's gold. Bastards. Flawless Football. I'm getting a case. I'm not getting 2, but I'm getting 1. We're not doing Tennis Transcendent Hall of Fame. It'd be cool, but if I had to choose between that and getting a new car, so that's where we're at. And there is a date on Leaf Memorabilia Vault. I will jump to that. April 10th is Leaf Memorabilia Vault. I didn't pre-book the usual 10. I pre-booked 6. So I'm giving those of you now watching a warning. I only got 6. I may be able to get more. I may not. But I decided not to go with 10. As much as I love the product, it's a very low margin product, and I really go crazy on it because I truly, honestly enjoy it. I love breaking that. And I need to have resources to get other stuff. Still going to do it because I think it's something that everybody expects, but if I'm getting cut 35 to 75% on high margin stuff, I'm cutting my low margin stuff, and that's that. And I'll just pay more to get in the hot stuff. So gotta do what I gotta do. And that's pretty much it. So last call. Did I ever go over the teams in the 10 box? I don't think I did. Got sidetracked with that. Did I? I don't know. We need 2 more in this break right here. Diamondbacks are 70. Braves 175. Acuña's would be nice. Red Sox are 70. White Sox 150. Robert Jimenez. Nationals 95. Cubs 100. Reds 110. Astros 100. Dodgers 75, Marlins 55, Mets 150, A's are 50, Phillies are 70, Pirates are 50, Padres 150, Tatis, Rangers 65. Two more teams. 37 hits and a rebreak spot. So, there you go. All right. So, I guess that's a wrap. If normally I'd say if I'm awake, I'm breaking, but I gotta go to bed. Gotta be up in a few hours. I'm prepared though. I already got 1 cup of coffee from today's pot in the fridge. I got an energy drink in the fridge. That'll get me through the morning. And afternoon, gonna pull some big hits tomorrow. I can feel it. But for now, I'm probably gonna sleeve this 1 stack of cards and go to bed. So if you hit me within the next few minutes, I'll be available. Anybody else got anything for me? Or else I'm wrapping up here. So have a good night, and we'll rip you a new one soon. Take it easy.